All right, this week we are doing our second mystery episode. This movie, man, so many things to say about this movie. It is a collection of frames, pictures, if you will, that play so fast that it looks like it's moving. So now it's called a movie, and it has a plot and characters, and presumably has some themes. And I imagine it has some conflict in there as well, and sound effects. And man, it's a movie, isn't it, Zach? It's a movie.
But Hunter, but is the second mystery movie good?
I'm going to take a shot in the dark, and I'm going to say this one is not good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I guess we'll find out, won't we?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Are we going to find out? Let's do it.
But is it good podcast? Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Nothing. We're just doing a podcast. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the But is it good podcast? I'm your host, Zach Olson.
And I'm your host, Hunter Kelly. How's it going?
It's going well.
Yeah.
How are
Yeah.
you?
I'm good. I feel like I've done a lot the past week or so.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm good. Trey was home. Shout out to Trey. Trey was home for like a week, so I got to hang out with him a lot. And then I saw a friend, my friend Julian, who lives out in Los Angeles. Went to school with him. Oh, I had a show. On Thursday. That went very well at Midtown. And yeah, just hanging out, work. How about you? How's life?
At
You started
Midtown?
Yeah.
It's Smith's Old Bar. That's a happening venue.
It is. We were in the Atlanta room, but we were at Smith's Old Bar.
In Atlanta. Okay.
Atlanta room in Atlanta.
Right.
Fair. I shouldn't sell myself short.
Don't sell yourself short.
But how are you? Started a brand new job today, correct?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You seem subdued.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready to start a new job and realized it like Saturday night. And then I spent all day Sunday trying to get ready to start a new job. And I started a new job, and I'm working a new job. But I'm really tired. I've just been like running.
Yeah. Well, hopefully.
But now I work at a place called Ford Harrison. So.
And you've told me that was created before Harrison Ford was like
before he was like
person.
Harrison Ford's career may have begun, but he wasn't in like Star Wars or anything.
Yeah.
Before this law firm was created.
Because that sounds like it's a pun.
A pun?
Or like a play on words or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It sounds
play
like
on
it's
names.
on purpose. Play on names. Well, Zach, congratulations. Hopefully it continues to go well.
Yeah.
We're doing the second mystery episode because I'm bad at planning, and I thought The Creator came out last week, but it comes out this week.
Mm-hmm.
So this time, Zach, you've watched a movie, and I have not. And it's my episode. Do I have to lead, or you have to give me something, right? I forgot how we did it.
I think. Oh, I don't know. Yeah,
well, let's figure it out.
I'll
we'll
give
make
you
it up.
something. I'll give you something. So we're doing first impressions.
Yeah, I'm already convinced I might be able to get it, but you can go first. First impressions.
I think you'll be able to get it. I mean, if you've
Okay.
seen it, I don't know if you've seen it.
Let's find out. I'm ready to jump in, but please like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Please share, all that stuff. We have fun doing this, so please, you know the drill.
Yeah.
All right, Zach, are you ready? I'm ready. I'm so ready. I'm so excited. Wait, I got to get into the character because the whole point
I'm actually afraid I'm going to give you too much too early, but
Okay, well, let's
I
find
hope
out.
I don't.
I have to. The whole point is I have to act like I know this. So I'm
Yeah,
really
yeah.
excited to talk about this movie. I'm really excited.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
You can go first though, just out of
Sure.
kindness.
So the first time I saw this film, I had actually seen the sequel first before seeing the original. There's a piece of information for you. And the sequel, when I saw that, I thought it was great. It is much lower rated than the original, and after seeing the original, it became pretty clear why to me. This is it's a great movie. It's a classic in my mind. Cat and mouse chase between two like big name actors. And there's a lot of cool trivia to go along with it. So I'm excited.
I do love trivia, and I love the trivia that comes with this movie. Both those actors, man, they're just phenomenal in this one.
Mm-hmm.
And with the cat and mouse, it never. That's kind of tropey, and it can be done where it's like the kind of redundant thing over and over again, but this one really does it well, I think.
Yeah, they do a good job.
I think it really does it well. The sequel, I actually didn't mind the sequel. I know it was rated lower.
Well,
but
same, honestly.
Yeah,
Like
I think it's a fun movie.
yeah, for what it is.
Yeah. But I really am really excited to dive deeper into the themes of this movie, into very specific details, hopefully, about
Mm-hmm.
things that happened. But I think it's definitely. I think you said it well, Zach. I think it's definitely a classic. Yeah.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah.
So I guess now we're skipping movie in a minute
Yes.
and just
I'll try and
diving
do it.
in.
I'll try and do it later.
Okay.
Especially if I can't figure it out, I'll try and do it later.
Oh, perfect. No, either
Yeah.
way, you have to try and do it. So Hunter, where do you want to begin? What did you think about the cold open?
I thought it was ice cold, man. I thought it was ice cold.
It really is, because from the opening frame, we're presented in this cat and mouse chase. There's two main actors going,
Yes.
we're presented with a perspective on one of the main characters that the other main character doesn't have throughout the majority of the movie. So it paints this portrait that there's more going on than they know about each other, right? Which is really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's always it's really interesting, because sometimes, I think of some movies where it's like, I'm trying to think of an example, and we'll see if I'm on the right path. Sometimes there's like a murder mystery,
Mm-hmm.
and part of the fun is figuring out who did the crime or whatever. But
Sure.
then sometimes it's very interesting for you to already know both players,
Right.
and see them find their way to each other. Or there's information that one knows already that the other doesn't,
Mm-hmm.
and it can kind of color your perception of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a really interesting way to start the film, especially.
It is. It honestly is. So where do I want to go with this?
See,
Let's
your
see.
job's actually kind of tough too, isn't it?
Well, it is. It is, because there's just so many directions I could take this in, which is kind of the point, right? Misdirection. So one character is trying to stay away from the other character by any means necessary. I do want to talk about, because it's pretty early on in the film that the giant train crash happens, and it's interesting because when they filmed it, it's all done practical. I don't think CGI was invented yet. So I think everything was done practically. every time I spit out a little tidbit, I see your gears turning like ooh what's going on.
Train
So
wreck.
they had one take to crash this train into the bus, and the director did all this research. He consulted like transportation experts, insurance companies, because they know a lot about collisions, about like what the aftermath would be.
Mm-hmm.
And they thought they had it perfect. Ended up that the train was going like 15 miles per hour too fast, but it still looked great. So that's the cut that's in the movie.
Yeah, I think all those kind of stories are super cool. Like when they kind of like, we just kind of, it didn't go as planned, but it still went as planned, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing like the practical effects,
Right.
This is, it's like this kind of thing probably what inspired Chris Nolan to actually run a plane into a hangar for Tenet,
Maybe.
depending on when this movie came out.
It's it's possible that is the case.
But I think it looks great on screen. When
The crash.
when the crash hits the bus. I mean, like when the train hits the bus. I think it looks great on screen. Of course.
And it's not one of these. I feel like for centuries. Okay, hold on. For like multiple decades, I feel like there'd be a movie and it'd be like, we got to have like a big thing happen.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get a train crash or an explosion, and it's just like there. It's just like, but this is essential to the plot, the train crash, because that's how that's kind of how the cat and mouse chase starts, because that is when one main character escapes from the bus.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's definitely crucial because it definitely sets up this person, and he's on the run now. He's being chased.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's interesting because we see this person, one of our main actors,
Right.
obviously on the run, and we're kind of on his side in this.
Yes, and at the same time, the person who is chasing him has such a strong personality that you can't help but also be on his side. So it's like, as the viewer, you don't really have a side. You're kind of rooting for both of them, right?
Yeah, well, it's one of those movies where it's like, this is gonna sound super cheesy and cliche, but you ever seen those shirts for like sports where it's just like, I hope both teams have fun, where it's like you just want there to be a resolution.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not that one conquers the other or one quote unquote wins, but that they come to a resolution, and that the actual truth is discovered by the other party.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that adds a lot of tension because you don't actually know what's going to happen, because
it adds a lot of tension.
It's like they can't always find resolutions. So is this guy going to win? Is this guy going to win?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we're cooking with gas now.
We're cooking with gas?
Maybe.
So one interesting thing, the main character who's on the run, I think it was, I don't want to get my facts wrong here. Give me 1 second. So he's running through the woods. I think this is right after, if I recall correctly, it's right after the train crash.
Mm.
He's running through the woods. And he, in real life, tore ligaments in his leg.
Yikes.
And was pretty messed up. But he refused surgery until they were done filming because he thought that it would be better for him to be running with a limp. It would be like realistic because that might be something that could happen.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I did not know that. It makes a lot of sense, especially knowing the actor.
Right.
I wouldn't say he's, method. I wouldn't say he's that, but I would say he's definitely committed.
I wouldn't say he's method either, but he does do a lot of improv. Both him and the other actor.
Really?
both do a lot of improv in this
Really?
in this film. There's a lot of improvised scenes. In fact, when actor A when actor A is being questioned, they literally didn't give him any sort of rehearsal beforehand. He didn't know what questions were going to be asked, so it was just his responses were just like in the moment.
Just like as the character.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be honest with you, that threw me a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you don't typically hear about these two actors being like improv actors.
Right.
Not to say that they can't be. Obviously they were in this, but I think I think that just adds to the performance for both of these men.
Mm-hmm.
Of these actors. I think it definitely adds.
Have we determined that they're both men?
That was my attempt to see. I believe if it's what I think it is, then these are two men. Yes.
Are you ready to guess?
I can take a shot, but
Okay.
I want to let's do one more round. Let's talk about one more thing, and then we can talk about the movie. If I'm right, I want to be a little more sure, because the improv thing threw me a little bit.
The what thing?
The improv thing made me doubt myself a second.
Oh, interesting. What do you think about the parade scene?
Good. I think I know it. Can I guess?
Yeah, you can guess.
This is The Fugitive.
Yeah, this is
Nice. This is a fucking awesome. I love this movie.
I knew I was giving too much, but when you said I don't think I'm gonna get it, I was like, shit, should I spoon feed him?
No.
And I think but I did hold back quite a bit. So now we can talk about The Fugitive.
Yeah. What's funny is that I actually was really thrown for a second when you were talking about the train wreck, and I was like, the fucking train wreck? What is he talking about?
Yeah.
But when you said that,
that's when the cat and mouse chase begins.
Yes.
That's
like,
when I said that, I
second.
was like, oh, I fucked up, because that's like it's pretty obvious.
I was actually waiting for you to say, and he jumps from a dam and survives.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny is that I did not even know that there was a sequel.
Yeah, so the sequel
U.S.
is
Marshals.
U.S. Marshals. It's got fucking. That's the first time I ever saw Robert Downey Jr. in a film.
Oh wow!
Was in U.S. Marshals, and it's not. I think it's okay, but in comparison to The Fugitive, it's not on the same level, and so it just bombed.
That's wild. I had no idea.
In terms of like reviews.
No, I love this movie. We can dive in now.
Okay, so now we can actually. It's been 19 minutes.
Well, I think you guessed around 20 minutes as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
We'll get better at this.
We have
We'll
to
get better
pick
at being
harder movies.
Well, okay, so here's the thing, Hunter. We can just get this out of the way now. I was thinking about picking like an obscure film, and then I was like, but if there's no way he could get it, then what's the is it fun?
Yeah.
So I also was thinking about, and maybe I'll do this next time, finding, because there's quite a few films that came out on or around the same year, and they have like almost the exact same plot. So I thought about doing one of those, but doing the less popular one.
That'd be really funny. Like, I'm trying to think. There's some movies like No Strings Attached, and then
No Strings Attached, and I can't think of the other one.
Well, there you go. One has Justin Timberlake and Mila Kunis, and then one has Ashton Kutcher and Natalie Portman, I think. But anyway, yes. So we have Richard Kimball, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's framed. He's framed for the murder. I'm trying to think.
So the cold open is I don't know when the last time you saw this was, but
It's the murder, right?
It's yeah. So he returns home and his wife's like dying. There's this one-armed man, and it doesn't look good because she just pulled out a life insurance policy, and there's no one broke in, or it doesn't look like anyone broke in, you know.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember
I don't
how
I don't remember
accused.
the dialogue of the call, the 911 call, but like it gets misinterpreted.
Oh, she says like Richard. She like says his name or something like that. She's saying like Richard.
That's right.
Richard, something like that.
That's right.
Yeah, I love this movie because I was thinking, I actually almost said this, but then I would have given away that I had a guess and I wasn't sure yet. And I almost said, I love when actor B says, no, when actor A says, I didn't do this, and actor B says, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
That's the end. But
did you know that the original, like the line that was written? So back to the improvisation stuff.
Yeah.
It was originally written, "That isn't my problem," and Tommy Lee Jones wanted it changed to "I don't care."
That's awesome. Excuse me. And now it's like an iconic line. No, I love this movie. I'm trying to think. Yes, the train wreck you were saying was all practical. Was it miniatures or was it like a train?
It's a train.
Oh, damn.
It was a train. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, and then he goes to Chicago and he finds what, Charles Nichols? That's what it says here. Charles Nichols.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're in Chicago essentially the whole time because I think Kimball's from Chicago. Like that's
okay. Gotcha.
Where the murder takes place.
And he like. So I love. What I was kind of getting at with this movie is that it's very easy to root for him because one, he didn't do it, but two,
right,
he's on the run, but he like continues being a doctor. There's that one scene where he saves that one kid, right? He like shaves or whatever.
Yeah.
This is one of the first. So I watched this with like, I think it was like my mom or dad. I think my mom. Many years ago. Like this is one of the first really good movies that I watched and realized this is a really good movie. Like in a sense of like it's not some like IP that I liked when I was 12. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
It was like It was like, oh, I'm enticed by this story.
Right.
And
it's a kick-ass story.
Yeah, it's a great movie. And to have Tommy Lee Jones too, because he hasn't done much in recent years. I know that they're both like over 80 now, but
he was in the third, or was it the fourth Men in Black? How many Men in Blacks have there been?
He was in the first one, second one, and I think the fourth one.
Okay.
I think the most recent thing he was in was actually let's see.
I don't know if there was a fourth one. He was in the third one.
Tommy Lee Jones. His filmography.
Discography.
Oh, he was in Ad Astra.
Oh, you're so right. Which I haven't seen.
That's a good movie. Oh, he's actually got 2 movies coming up. An American crime thriller called
Finest Kind. I don't know if it's German or not, but if it's German, it would be Kind.
And then The Burial with Jamie Foxx, which the poster makes it look terrible.
I'm looking at it now. It's
an
Amazon Prime original.
Am I wrong? Like the poster makes it look awful. This debuted. Oh my god, dude! I'm so wrong. It debuted at 100%.
Really?
Son of a bitch! It just debuted like 2 weeks ago at the Toronto International Film Festival, and it debuted at 100%. Which there was 10. It was 10 critics. Let me look this up. Hold on a second. The Burial. It's still at 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, good for that. I want to watch that now. That's cool. Anyway, yeah, dude, like he's one of those actors that, and this I feel like this is the kind of episode where we can just kind of talk about stuff about the movie too, so we can kind of just go on tangents.
Sure.
I love him and like these are such a cool like the duo Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones because they kind of just play themselves and everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Han Solo is just Harrison Ford basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so but it always works. You know what I mean? Like that's why I said the improv thing might have thrown me because I was like, hold on, they don't seem
The improv
like,
type.
Yeah, or
And
like
I'm not talking like improv like
like
give me a
Office.
prompt.
Yeah.
But no, they did improvise a lot of their lines throughout the film, which I think is cool.
Like last week we talked to Corey about Blade Runner 2049 and about how like Jared Leto had to be led around set because he was quote unquote blind, right? And then Harrison Ford is quoted for Han Solo, like when Oscar Isaac asked him for advice on playing a pilot in Star Wars, he said, "It's fake and it's in space."
Yeah.
So like it's funny to hear that, but then to hear like he tore Legolas, it's like, no, that works. Keep it for the movie. Like that's also badass.
Not just know that works, keep it for the movie, but we need to keep filming for like weeks, and I'm not going to go get the surgery that I need until we're done filming. Think about that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Also the parade.
Yes.
That was not scripted. They just ran into a fucking parade.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah. Isn't that
Tell
cool?
me more about this. Like they just they didn't have like. So folks are just like, oh shit, that's Harrison Ford. Like,
give me a second. The scene where Kimball is running through the St. Patrick's Day parade was not scripted. This was a later addition by Andrew Davis. Davis, a native of the city, really wanted to capture the parade and was granted permission from the mayor's office to film the day of the parade. The entire sequence was shot with a handheld Steadicam, and without rehearsal, Ford and Jones just went out into the crowd and did their thing with camera operators running around trying to keep up. Ford observed that since his character was keeping a low profile, it meant he himself didn't stand out much and lasted several minutes in the crowd before being recognized.
That's crazy.
Isn't that cool?
So I wonder. Now I want to go back and watch it because I wonder if like
people are looking.
Movie, well, like in the movie when he gets recognized and we're like, oh, they know it's the guy on the run. That person's just like, oh, cool, it's Harrison Ford.
It's Harrison fucking Ford. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's super cool, actually. No, I love it. And he like gets the little hat, right? He like puts on the little hat, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah. I'm trying to think of who else. Like, sorry, I'm trying to think of the movie.
No, you're fine.
There's some other actors who are like really good in this. He's got like a little team.
Joe Pantoliano's in it. That's Teddy.
That's
Teddy from Memento.
Yeah, that's who I'm thinking of.
He does a good job.
Yeah, he's great. But eventually he does kind of like unravel this thing, and it was on purpose, right? Like someone had his wife killed, or someone like was trying to put a hit on both of them and he wasn't home or something like that. Is that what it was?
Hold on, give me a second.
Because he goes and finds Nichols, and then it's somehow discovered that like it's some sort of conspiracy. Yeah, it says that Nichols ordered Sykes, who's the guy who actually did it, to kill Kimball. But
sorry, what did you ask? I was reading something.
Wasn't it like he like unravels like this whole conspiracy with that one guy that like was helping him out? And is it that the Nichols guy wanted to have Kimball killed, and it ended up like he wasn't home and it went bad and he ended up killing his wife? Is that what happened?
So Kimball finds out that whatever that doctor's name was, like did this big cover up and like basically like something similar to not as bad, but like you know how there's been a bunch of companies that have been like covering up how bad what's that drug, fentanyl is.
Yeah. No, it was what was the actual drug? It was Oxycontin. Oxycontin. That was like
Yeah.
the start of the whole thing. Yeah.
Right. So it was something similar to that, where there was this drug that was like not doing good stuff, but this doctor like was covering it up somehow just to like make money, and Kimball figured it out. And then I think, if I recall correctly, he like ordered his death.
Excuse me.
But then the one-armed man killed his wife instead.
Yeah, because Kimball wasn't there. He was like getting like an award or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm trying to think, and I remember the scene where the doctor is like giving the presentation, and like Kimball just like walks in and stares him down,
Right.
or whatever. That's towards the end, right? Is that where? I'm trying to think of when they go to like to the dam and stuff. Or is that's after the train wreck, isn't it? No, I don't remember. Like, when's he jump off that dam?
That's right after the train wreck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the train wreck happens.
Oh, yeah, I see.
And he like disappears, and they don't know where he's at. And then 90 minutes later, the U.S. Marshals arrive, and they're searching for him. It's a awesome sequence. He steals an ambulance and evades them. He like dives into a storm drain, and then comes out at the spillway, and then jumps off of it.
Okay, yeah, that's right. And then I'm trying to think, how does he ever tell, what's his name, Sam, the marshal? Because isn't there like a rooftop standoff or whatever?
There is a rooftop standoff, but I thought him like saying he was innocent, like I didn't kill my wife. I thought that happened at the sewer scene too, like the whole escape sequence, because he.
Yeah, it does. I'm looking at it right now, and it says they have like an altercation, or whatever, and then oh wait, hold on a second. Yeah, he jumps in the storm drain.
And I apologize for being the one that was supposed to be prepared for this.
No.
I watched it like last week, and
no, you're fine.
It's been a long day.
And yeah, he says like because Kimball finds the gun and he's pointing it at him, and he's like, "I didn't kill my wife." He's like, "I don't care." But then after he confronts Nichols, I'm looking at the plot right now. That's why I know it. There's something where like there's some sort of standoff. I'm trying to think. Kimball saves. Okay, so Kimball saves Gerard or Sam, whatever his name is. Okay,
right.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, that whole like. I haven't seen this movie in a long time, and I'm thinking back on all the set pieces and like the big sequences and like that roof standoff. They're like in like it might not be a roof, but they're in like a laundry something where like there's a bunch of cover and sheets, and it's just like super, super tense. And this is one of those movies that one of the few movies that I can think back to when I was much, much younger. It's hard to explain, but recognizing that this is a really good film. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to explain what I mean, but being like, oh, this is like another level of movies.
Yeah.
And like not because like I liked Batman Forever. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I know exactly what you're saying. This movie is less. The reason it's a good film, and the reason you were able to recognize it was a good film, is because it is compelling throughout and interesting.
Yeah.
It's not just like it's not like, oh, let's go see that because it has this person in it, and it was like, oh, it was okay, but they did a good job. No, this narratively, it's very compelling. It has
Yeah.
star power. It's extremely interesting, and the more you dive into it, the more interesting it becomes. So,
Yeah, well, and it's funny because like I was saying earlier, and I can actually like dive into it now, is that man, sometimes these like cat and mouse movies can just be like the same scenario happening over and over again.
sure.
You know what I mean? Or like just sort of I don't know, like it's always kind of a risk when you give the audience the answer before you have to make it worth like following then being like, well, no, he didn't do it, so it's gonna that is that's an interesting thing. Um this movie just it doesn't I think going back to what you said is where it's like it makes both characters likable enough. One of them is obviously more
Right.
is more likable because he's a good guy. He's a doctor.
He's innocent.
But yeah, he's innocent. But even Sam, the marshal, is like
He's just such a strong personality. Sometimes there's characters that may not be the best, but you like them anyways.
yeah, like it's
like
not
John
like,
Wick. John Wick kills people, but we love him.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's I don't know. It's that actually just reminded me of something. Hold on, let me look it up. I can check something real fast.
So while you're looking that up, I'm gonna talk about some more trivia.
Yes. Oh yeah, I'd love to hear the trivia.
So while filming this, Tommy Lee Jones was talking to Joe Pantoliano, and he said it's not like anyone's going to win any awards for this film, but it was nominated for 7 Academy Awards and 3 Golden Globes.
Oh my gosh.
And Tommy Lee Jones won the Best Actor in a Supporting Role Academy Award and Golden Globe.
Oscar? Wow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is this his only Oscar win? Do we know?
Oh gosh, Tommy Lee Jones? I hope not.
Jones Oscar wins.
Yes, it is.
Is
He
this
was
only
nominated
win?
for JFK, and he lost. He was nominated for a movie called In the Valley of Elah, and then he was nominated for Lincoln in 2013.
He's in Lincoln? Oh wow.
A supporting actor, yeah.
Okay, he was nominated for. Okay, a BAFTA. I was thinking surely he was nominated for like No Country for Old Men, but he was nominated for a BAFTA. Wow, interesting. He did win one for Lincoln. He won a SAG award for Lincoln. Man, it's crazy.
He won a SAG award for No Country for Old Men too.
I see.
Did you just say that?
No, I said I said
Okay.
Lincoln. That's crazy. Now I'm curious to see. Hold on a second. Harrison Ford Oscar wins.
Oh, are you comparing them now?
Well, yeah. Now I'm interested to see. Oh my God. Hold on. Academy Awards. I'm trying to see here.
Looks like he's been nominated. That's not possible.
He's only had one Oscar nomination. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too.
For Witness,
And
I've never even heard of that movie. That's crazy.
That's wild. Well,
that's amazing. But did this what did this win? Did this movie win anything like Best Picture or anything?
well, he won. Let's see.
Oh no, let's see here. Oh, it was nominated. It did not win.
Tommy Lee Jones won his Best Supporting.
Yeah, and that was the only win. It looks like. That's nuts. Okay, now hold on, I'm going down a rabbit hole. Sorry, forgive me. I know that we're going off of a.
No, do it.
Schindler's List.
That's a good one. That's a good one too.
And Tom Hanks won Best Actor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Tommy Lee Jones beat out Leonardo DiCaprio in What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
That's wild.
That is nuts because that's a great performance. Wow.
It's crazy. We were just like a couple months old.
That is true. That is true. I guess we would, yeah, I would have been like 10 months old, 9 months old. I guess you would have been too because we're kind of like the same age.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, man, we can keep, is there any more trivia for this movie that you want to mention?
I mean, there's a shit ton of trivia. Do you want me to keep going through some trivia?
Give us a couple more because we're already at 40 minutes. We can wrap it up in a minute, but.
Let me
Dude,
find
I
one.
used some stuff in my hair today, and it's just not vibing with me. I feel like I have like rollers. I had like rollers in it, and it's just like.
It's funny you say that because when you came
what's going on?
like at the beginning, I thought your hair looked great. Now
thank you.
you've been like hands in it a lot. Sometimes when you put product in and you like overdo it with your hands, it can
I've got quite a quiff going on today.
Yeah. Hunter quiffed.
I quiffed.
So you were saying that Harrison Ford doesn't really do the method thing, but would it intrigue you to learn that he shadowed doctors at the University of Chicago Medical Center to prepare for his role? I guess that's not really method, is it? That's just like
I'm not saying
people.
he's unprepared, but I would be shocked. I would be shocked if he was like, I am Richard Kimball.
If he like performed a surgery before coming on set.
Yeah, and I'm not even trying to like bash that. Like, you can be method, do whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
But just hearing him talk and like what he has said about certain roles, I'm like, this dude doesn't give a shit. Like, he's just like.
Do you think if Jared Leto played a surgeon, he would like try to perform a surgery?
I think he'd try and do something. I follow him on Instagram, and I'm going to have to unfollow him because I see stuff that he posts, and I'm like, this is bullshit. It's super fake. But he was just like in Europe, just like rock climbing national monuments. And I was like, who are you, dude? Like, what are you doing?
Oh, didn't he does that. Didn't he get in trouble for like scaling some building a couple years ago?
It's like a thing, and it's just like, why? What are you doing, man? Is this for a role?
It's
anyway,
stupid and crazy.
I don't know. I just think it just was interesting to like. I think he's because he still kind of just acts like himself, but it works. Like The Rock acts like himself and everything, and it doesn't always work.
Yeah.
But Harrison Ford can act like himself, and it seems to work.
Here's an interesting tidbit, because you asked earlier, was the train scene full size or was it
Miniatures?
Miniatures. Apparently, I guess miniature trains are expensive. It was cheaper to use a full size train than it would have been to use miniatures.
How does that work?
Is what I'm reading here.
They must have found like a train that was like about to go out of service or something, and they're just like, "Can we use that?"
That'd be it.
Who directed this?
This was directed by, as I scroll up, Andrew Davis, and it's based on a show called The Fugitive, from the 60s.
I had no idea.
And the show has Dr. Richard Kimball in it and a one-armed man. Like I haven't seen the show, so I don't know if it's like one for one, but it's not just like it's not just like an idea that was like, oh, let's make a movie with this like general premise. It's like there are a lot of details that seem to be consistent throughout, like across. Yeah,
like this says that in the show, it ran for 4 years, and it says that his wife's murdered, he's convicted, and en route to death row, his train derails, and he begins a cross-country search for the real killer, a one-armed man. And he is hunted by authorities by Police Lieutenant Philip Gerard.
I always thought, I remember the first time I saw this, I thought it was awesome. But I was like, why'd they get a one-armed man to attempt this, hit?
Oh, yeah. Huh. Maybe he just didn't know anybody else who was a hitman? Yeah, there's a one-armed man in this whole thing. Yeah, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I'd be curious to watch that now. It's very unlikely that I'm going to. But that's interesting. Well, cool. Is there anything else you want to talk about with the movie, or you want to wrap it up?
I mean, you fucking did it.
I did.
I did give too much when I said the cat and mouse chase started after a train crash. That was a big detail. That was quite a big detail.
It's hard though, because like I remember when I was doing Shutter Island, where I like
because I don't want to just give you nothing, right?
Yeah, and then it's like, well, if I say that, it's one of those things where it's like you have to hedge your bets and be like, well, has he seen this, or does he just know about it? Because if he's seen it, this will give it away. But if he just knows about it, it might not. You know what I mean?
Right. And I won't lie, there was a part of me that thought maybe Hunter hasn't seen this. But it would make sure that you like watch this at home, like with your parents when you were littler.
Yeah. I love this movie. I've seen it many times.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So I got to do a movie in a minute before we can be done.
That's right. Yes, you do.
Or do you want to do Every Movie Sucks first?
You should do a movie in a minute.
All right, cool. Let me get my timer up real fast.
You were trying to buy yourself time, weren't you?
Maybe. All right. I'm ready when you are. Hollis is still awake, that little stinker pot. All right, are you ready, Zach?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. This is Hunter doing The Fugitive in 1 minute. In 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so Richard Kimmel, he's a doctor. He's like well-renowned, nice dude. Comes home to his house. He's been burgled, and his wife she's dying on the floor. She's been murdered. He's accused because of some circumstantial evidence and convicted and sentenced to death. He's en route to death row, and his train flips over, and then he escapes, and then he's being chased by Tommy Lee Jones, Sam Gerard. He's being chased, and he's like, I didn't get my wife, and he's like, I don't care, all this stuff. He gets to Chicago. He's like trying to hide, but also trying to figure out who killed his wife. Goes see his friend, who's Dr. Nichols. He helps him out. Anyway, he's doing all this investigation. He finds this conspiracy behind this drug that was being bad, but the doctor like hid it and covered it up. And then Richard found out this whole thing. So turns out that Nichols, his friend, had a one-armed man go and try and kill Kimball. And the truth comes out. There's a whole standoff, and then Kimball kills Nichols and saves Sam. The end.
There you go.
That was tough. I started using last names and first names, and it probably got confusing.
It is what it is. All right, cool. It's time for
Every Movie Sucks.
Yeah, there we go.
Let me plug in my computer before it dies.
Guacardo says, right after watching this, someone spoiled Logan, so now I hate this movie.
That's not fair.
That would suck. That's a good movie, too. Have you seen Logan?
I've never seen Logan.
Yo, we got to do Logan. Do we have to do all the X-Men movies if we want to do Logan? Or can we just do Logan?
Please, I don't want to do all those. No, I don't want to do that. I do know what happens, but because I know kind of what some of the comics that is based on.
Can we do...
Like it's based off the Old Man Logan comic, and I kind of know how that one ends.
Can we do Logan, and then maybe before Logan, we do First Class? Do you remember going to see that like 4 times?
Yes. Yeah, dude, totally.
Theaters?
We can do... I tell you what. Did you like Deadpool?
Yeah, it was good. I feel like people obsess over Deadpool, and I'm not in that camp.
Yeah, I never saw the second one, but never mind. I was gonna say when the third one comes out, we can do all these movies, but it was filming when the strike happened, so that could be like a year and a half. But yeah, we can do Logan. We can do like Logan in First Class. I don't give a shit. Those are good movies. Well, I haven't seen Logan, but I think it's a good movie. First Class, man, we saw that like 5 times in the theaters for some reason.
Okay, well, the reason we saw it twice was because the first time we went to see it, you were there when the power went out, right? Where
yes, I was.
Spoiler alert for everybody, but Professor X literally becomes paralyzed, and he's like, I can't feel my legs, but he goes, I can't, and then it just cuts to black.
Wait, so did we like get vouchers for that? Because that was like
We
the
got
end of the
vouchers.
That was the end of the movie.
That was at Tinseltown. They gave us vouchers.
That was like that's like the last 10 minutes of the movie too. That's so funny.
I think Ethan was there for that. I don't remember who we
I'm
went
pretty
with. We
sure-
went with
I
a
feel
we
like
went with a
It was a
group.
big group. Yeah, it was a big group. That's funny. Yeah. And then wasn't there one? Was it me and you, or was it me and Trey and Hannah? I think it was me and Trey and Hannah. We saw a movie and like the power went out again, and it was like
Again.
that was also well, that was actually at NCG.
Mm.
Anyway, okay, here we go. This is Hosanna Wilder, half star. This movie exudes unwashed ass.
No.
Your turn.
I know. I was going to read that one.
I've got one more, but I'm waiting for you.
Bored Jason 87 says, weird movie. Was this the start of Harrison Ford not giving a fuck old man reputation, or was that before this?
But it works though. That's the thing, is that it works.
Yep.
This one's kind of long. It says, Tikwi, half star, in all caps. I'm not going to yell it because Hollis is finally going to sleep. But why do people think this is a good movie? I'm disgusted. The best part about it was the fight scene at the end, but that's as exciting as it got. The whole middle was some of the most unspectacular shit I've ever seen, and the misogyny was peak. I don't even think the writers noticed. But the music was really good at certain points.
You know, it's a really good testament for this film. There's only like 2 pages of 1-star reviews, and then you're already into 1.5 stars.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So I gotta dip into some 1.5 stars.
Well, actually, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's only 8 half-star reviews for this movie.
I think that's pretty good.
That's pretty ballin'. All right, do one more.
Yeah, I'm gonna do one more. Harrison Board says Dreamy Mayo.
This one says this is 1 star. Jervis says. Then this last one, it says, now I know why everybody always says Tommy Lee Jones didn't deserve his Oscar. Ouch.
Oh shit. Oh
That's
no.
brutal.
It is brutal.
Okay. All right, there you go.
It's time for news.
Hold on, we didn't ask. I was wrong in the beginning. I said I guessed that this wouldn't be good. This is a very good movie.
Yeah, so let me ask you, Butt Hunter is sorry, man. I'm so
Butt Hunter.
I'm so tired. Butt Hunter. That's your title. Butt
Hunter, slut for peanut butter.
Butt Hunter, slut for peanut butter, father of Hollis who doesn't know math.
What can I? Hey, you can count to 20 now, man. I'm not kidding.
So can I. And I'm not good at math.
I guess I can't fight you there, can I? Oh, that's funny. Such a good response. So can I.
But is Mystery Movie 2 good?
Yes, and if I don't know if this counts, if we can nominate this stuff, Mystery Movie 2 for Golden Goods, but if we can, I will nominate this for a Golden Oldie.
Okay.
I don't know
I'll
if we can.
allow it. I'll
Maybe
allow
not.
it.
Okay. We should
On the
have made a
condition
spreadsheet.
on the condition that you watch it before the award show.
Okay, yes,
so that
yes.
you actually have, not that you haven't seen it, but you have like a more
Yeah.
recent opinion formulated about the film.
I got you. Okay, cool. News. I have a little bit of news. You ready?
Yeah.
The Continental, the show that's in John Wick's universe, or whatever, has debuted at 65% fresh. The Expendables. Is that how they did it? Expendables?
Yeah.
Because the 4 was like the A. Has bombed. It made like $8.2 million this weekend. And this weekend, was the worst box office weekend of the entire year, with no film making over $10 million.
Yikes.
Here's some news that I think is awful. Apparently, The Office is getting rebooted,
Oh, God. I know. I saw that.
which sounds terrible. A Mean Girls musical is being released in January 2024. That's happening. Smile is getting a sequel, which I don't think we need. Is getting released in October of next year.
But we knew that, didn't we? Or we like heavily speculated that it was going to get a sequel based
Yeah.
on the ending.
Probably, but they're doing it, which I think is a bad move because I liked Smile and I don't think it needs to get beaten to the ground, but whatever. The movie that we're doing next week, well, I guess this week, The Creator, the first reactions are calling it visually stunning and a must-see for sci-fi fans. So good for
Okay.
us. I guess we'll find out. I'm seeing it on Thursday. We get our first look at Peter Dinklage, Elijah Wood, Taylor Page, and Kevin Bacon in a film called The Toxic Avenger.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Amber Heard is making her return to Hollywood. Sort of an Aquaman 2, but she's barely in it. She's starring in a film called In the Fire. We got a trailer for Disney Plus's remake of Percy Jackson. Two more things. We got our first trailer of A24's Dream Scenario with Nick Cage, among others. And then here's some good news to hopefully wrap things up. It looks like a tentative agreement has been made between studios and the writers, and it looks like the the writers' strike looks like it's coming to an end after like 130 days or something like that.
Yeah. So picketing has been suspended. They are still encouraged to support the Screen Actors Guild. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like as long as the agreement doesn't fall through, writers will be back, which is
Good.
great.
Yes, good. And hopefully it's a deal that everybody feels is fair and the writers get what they deserve because they need to get paid appropriately. All right, Zach,
I wanted to react to the Toxic Avenger news and just say that I saw this. I saw something on Twitter, basically calling Elijah Wood's character the Penguin. And pull up a picture.
Okay. I'll pull it up. I think I saw a picture, but I'm trying to remember it. Elijah Wood, Toxic Avenger. Oh, interesting.
Penguin-esque villain. Which I know nothing about the Toxic Avenger, but is the hero of the Toxic Avenger like a man in a tutu?
Maybe. It looks like it. I have no idea. It looks like it is.
Anyways, Elijah Wood's character, and I saw something else that said like, which websites like entertainment or whatever are always like trying to get these headlines that are like, looks stunning, like blah 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 blah. And it was like Elijah Wood looks unrecognizable. I'm not saying it was entertainment, but it was one of those. It was like Elijah Wood looks unrecognizable. The second I saw that picture, I thought, that's Elijah Wood.
No, it was entertainment because I literally just saw that link and I was like, that's not true. You can see that it's Elijah Wood.
Okay.
That's funny. Cool. Yeah, Zach, how are the Braves doing?
The Braves are over 100 wins. Well, they have 100.
They're at 100 wins.
Fuck you. God damn it, I can't even do the Braves minute. I'm falling apart.
Zach, how the Braves doing?
The Braves have hit 100 wins for the second consecutive year.
Yes.
They're in rest mode, so Charlie Morton's going to miss the NLDS. It looks like Max Fried will be back for the NLDS because he went on the IL like a couple days earlier. And I think it's stupid. I should call up Manfred and tell him that it's stupid that if a player's coming off of IL, they can't be inserted like in the middle of a series. Because like injuries happen.
Oh
man.
yeah, because you have to set your roster before the series starts.
Right. That's why Charlie Morton won't be back,
I
because
see.
he'd be back for like game 3, but because he wouldn't be eligible for game 1, I don't think he's allowed to be on the roster. So, Acuna hit his 40th home run. That was like the biggest deal ever, because he's 40-60, going to be 40-70.
Yep.
He has surpassed Mookie Betts in almost every statistical category, whereas before there was some like Mookie OPS people. Now they're quiet. And
I think your
the
cousin
magic number.
broke like 2 Braves records though, didn't he?
Well, yeah, I thought that happened 2 weeks ago though. Did that happen last week? Did Matt Olson hit his 52nd home run last week? 51st?
Might have been 2 weeks ago, but I think he just broke the RBI record too.
Did he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, like 2 days ago.
That's exciting.
He's having a good year. He'd be the MVP if it wasn't for Acuna, probably.
Well, he'd be the MVP if it wasn't for Acuna and Mookie.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Mookie, if Acuna, it'd be Mookie. Like,
well, yeah,
I'll concede that.
That's fair. That's fair. I give him that.
But yeah, it's exciting times. The magic number is 3 for both home field advantage through the National League Championship Series and home field advantage through the World Series. Magic number is 3.
Yes. Go Braves.
Contingent on I haven't looked at scores today. So if the Dodgers or the Orioles lost, the number might be 2.
I can look for you. While we set up whiskey shots. Whiskey shots. Whiskey shots. Does whatever a whiskey cat does. Meow.
Neither of them are playing today. So
Oh wow, okay. Well that works. That's fine.
yeah.
Good deal. Okay, cool. Well, Zach, I have my whiskey. I actually have it this time. I don't know if you do.
I'm gonna go get it.
Okay. I'm going to talk a little bit about whiskey. She was a cat, for those of you who don't know. Zach, are you wearing underwear? Or are you wearing shorts? Zach's running around in his boxers. Oh God! Oh man, that just
I've
made
got the
my
perfect.
day.
I've got the perfect comeback. Would you prefer it if I wasn't wearing underwear?
Oh please!
Oh,
Oh,
goodness.
man, that was funny. That's great. This is the content.
Yeah,
people
I got
come
off.
for.
I got off work and it was a long day, and I was like, I'm taking my
Dude,
pants off.
I get it. If I lived alone, I'd do the same thing. That's so funny. All right, to whiskey. She would
To
have
whiskey.
loved to have been a part of this one, and she was. Cheers.
Cheers.
You know what I just realized?
What?
As I was drinking that, I thought, why did I pour myself such a big shot?
Did you see mine?
Yeah. I could have just done like a little bit. But it's whiskey shots, I guess. Okay. Am I doing where they can find us?
Hunter, where can they find us?
All right, sick. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at But Is It Good Podcast. You can find us on X, aka Twitter, at BIIG Podcast. You can email us at BIIG Podcast at But Is It Good Podcast and at butisitgood@gmail.com. All three. We have all three. You can follow me if you want to at Hunter Callahan Music everywhere. You can follow Zach on Instagram. He never checks it, but maybe he will. At Zach with an H to the number, the THA future.31. And then next week we are doing The Creator, and then we're gonna announce the rest of the October schedule. Zach, are we gonna do spooky movies, or are we gonna just do whatever we want?
It's spooky season, Hunter.
It is spooky season.
It's spooky season, Hunter.
I wonder what The Haunting in Venice has gotten. Let me look that up.
I'm making
Sorry,
an exception
continue.
to do The Creator during the month of October.
Yeah, that was my fault. Oh, it got a 76. Not bad. Okay, cool. So we'll plan out October, do some spooky movies. I know we had a request from our good friend Ethan to do Dracula.
Yeah. So Dracula.
Classic.
If I can drag you to the theater to see the second Exorcist.
No. That movie like scarred me as a child.
The first one.
Yes.
The second one, like, there's one of the trailers is like, I don't know. There's like this, it's the two little girls, right? And there's a trailer where one of the little girls is just like all possessed, and then all of a sudden she like comes back and seems like she's like her again, and she's like, I don't want to go to hell. I don't want to go to hell. And I'm like, oh no, I don't like this.
Yeah, I don't want to see that movie. I'll be honest with you. But we'll post a schedule probably this weekend, probably on Sunday. Maybe on Sunday. We'll say it now on Sunday.
You know what? On Sunday.
You know what's amazing? I got to do a post tonight. I shouldn't tell you this because you're gonna think I'm slacking, but like I was like over a month behind on social media.
That's okay.
I like falling behind. I have one more video to post, and then I'll be on 2049. So I'm almost caught up. It's a great feeling.
It is good.
Feeling. It's a great feeling.
It's very good.
But okay, cool. Anything else to add, Zach? You good?
I'm good if you're good.
I'm wonderful.
I'm going to go enjoy being in my underwear.
Yes, please continue.
I think it was funnier, too, because
I'm
still wearing... No, I'm still... Well, yeah, I couldn't answer. So all I could do was, like, look back at you and be like, yes. But I'm still wearing a collared shirt.
You're wearing, like, a button down? Oh, that's hilarious. Cool. Well, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
But is it good podcast? Yeah.